What is up, you guys? This is All Day Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Assassin's Creed Odyssey build video. And with this build video I'm going to be giving you is going to be another Hunter build, but this is going to be a little bit different from the others. Some of the gear is going to be the same still, and a little bit different with the weapons and stats, but this build is going to revolve around a single ability, which is going to be Rapid Fire. So this is going to be your Rapid Fire build. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the abilities first. So with all the abilities we're going to be using, like I said, we're only going to be really using one ability for your Hunter, which is going to be Rapid Fire. And what's great about Rapid Fire is not only does it shoot fast, but it also does a really good amount of damage, which is, it's only 80% of your Hunter damage, but it's still a very high amount when you actually think about it. Like, you're hitting about 200, 300, 400k per shot, and especially if they're crits. And then if you hit them in the head, it could be a little bit higher. And honestly, it's like 2 to 3 shots with rapid fire to kill an enemy. And what's also really great about rapid fire is the fact that you can, knock enemies down. So when you knock an enemy down, you can pretty much keep them on the ground too, which is, I think, is amazing. You can pretty much keep an enemy stun locked. And now a little tip, what you guys could end up doing if you have a lot of adrenaline gain, is as soon as you knock them down to the ground, while they're on the floor trying to get up, just shoot them with your regular arrows. So cancel out of the rapid fire, shoot them with regular arrows, and then when they come back up, use your rapid fire again to knock them down, because when you shoot them with regular arrows, you're going to be building up your adrenaline that way. And then if you can also get the headshot kill and you get the adrenaline on headshot kills, that would work. You're going to max out Archery Master, Sixth Sense, and then Second Wind, Weapons Master, 1.80 overpower attacks, just so you can unlock Battlecry of Ares and get that maxed out, Stealth Master, Slow Time, Poison Mastery, and Venomous Attacks, as well as the Shadow Assassin. You're going to end up getting all of these. These are all you really need. And like I said, you don't really need to use any other ability for the Hunter. You can use Devastating Shot if you'd like, or you can get another point into Ghost Arrow's Artemis or Multi-Shot, whichever one is up to you. But like I said, this is primarily a fire or rapid fire build. And what's also nice with Arrow Master is you can use the explosive arrows, which will hit enemies in an AoE, but you will not be able to knock them down, which does suck in my opinion, that you can't knock enemies down with explosive arrows. But it's nice because you can still stagger enemies sometimes, and it's just fun to use. But the only problem I have with using special arrows is the fact that you have to go into your inventory to recraft them. They don't auto-craft. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at your mastery. So when you look at the mastery, you're going to go ahead and just get these specific stats. You don't have to necessarily go for the amount of points that I put in if you don't have the same amount, but these are just the stats you want to go for. So you do definitely want to go for damage with rapid ability, fire ability, and I put 12 out of 20. I stopped at 8% because there was no reason for me to go all the way up to 20 unless I had the extra points. Then sure, to get that to go cap out to 10%. And then 12 out of 20 on hunter damage, which is 16 out of 20%. And then headshot damage is 13 out of 20, 21% out of 30. And then you're going to go to, I believe that is it actually. Oh no, so you also have the adrenaline on headshot kill, 8 out of 20, which is 30%. I believe it's 30 out of 50%. And then for the warrior, you're going to go all the way down to damage dealt restored as health, 8 out of 20, 3% out of 5%. And then the assassin, you're going to go into crit chance while full health, 8 out of 20, which is going to be 6% out of 10%. Crit damage while full health, 12 out of 20, which is 40% out of 50%. Damage while full health is 12 out of 20, 16 out of 20%. Adrenaline per hit, 18 out of 30%. Adrenaline per crit, which is 8 out of 20, and it's 24%. I think it's going to be out of like 35 or 40%. I'm not sure. I've never maxed it out yet. And then damage on elites and bosses is going to be 8 out of 20, 12% out of 20%. And that is going to be it out of all 3 trees. And also another thing I'd like to say is in the abilities, you can either go with the poison or you can go with fire. Either one, it's both of them are great. It's up to you whichever one you decide to use. I like using poison because if I'm hiding in a bush, I'd rather not have the bush caught on fire or catch on fire, or if I'm on a tent and then tent catches on fire, then I'm kind of screwed. That's why I like using poison instead for my hunter builds rather than fire sometimes. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the abilities or the inventory. So with the weapons, I'm using Atlantean Blade, which you can get this from the Atlantis storyline, and then you get it with it. You get hunter damage, 19% hunter damage, 35% crit damage, 30% armor penetration, and then I threw on the Fox of Olympus engrave, which gives you 100% damage, but your health is going to be capped to 25%. And the Fox of Olympus is obtained from doing or finding it in the legendary chest. And then you're going to get Armor Piercing Spear of the Unbreakable, which this is going to come from the DLC, the second DLC. And with this, it's going to give you 19% Hunter damage, 30% Adrenaline per crit, 20% damage with Rapid Fire ability. And then I threw on the 30% damage while full health, which is the Nemean Lion set. Now, if you don't have that 30% damage while full health, you can always replace it with something else, like 25% damage to elites and bosses, or the 25% cooldown reduction, or just something else that you think would be better, like 35% crit damage. And then for the Hunter's Bow, the Epic Bow, I put Hunter damage, all damage, crit chance, and then I threw on the 25% Hunter damage, but you do lose 15% armor, which comes from the Vine Bow engrave. If you don't have that Vine Bow engrave, then you can always replace it with the, what is it called? You can always replace it with headshot damage, or you can replace it with all damage if you already have headshot damage, which I would highly prefer. Or you can use the elites versus bosses, and or something else really. Now, the epic bow, the perfect epic bow in my opinion, would be hunter damage, crit chance, and headshot damage. If you can get all three of those, I already had one, but me being a little bit stupid and kind of not responsible enough, I accidentally dismantled it. Either I dismantled it or sold it, and the thing is, I didn't even notice until a few hours later after all the auto saves and whatnot. So I kind of have to go out and look for a new epic bow that has all three stats: hunter damage, crit chance, and headshot damage. And then 25% hunter damage is going to be very, very, very useful. Now, for my epic gear, I'm going to be showing you both epic gear and what legendary gear is going to be the best option. So for the epic gear, I have hunter damage, headshot damage, damage with bows on distant targets, and then I threw on 35% crit damage. Now, what would be better is to have a hunter damage, headshot damage, crit damage, and then throw on the 25% or no 15% hunter damage on with your abilities or hunter abilities, which would be, I think, would be the best way to go with the epic helmets. And then for the arms, I have hunter damage, 60% crit damage while full health, 35% crit damage, and 7% crit chance. I'm not sure if you can go with 14% crit chance with full health, but if you can, I would highly recommend going with that if you can get it or if you can use it. And that 7% crit chance is still really useful if you don't have that 14% crit chance while full health. Now for the torso, this torso I think is definitely a great torso because you do get crit damage and all damage as well as the hunter damage. And then I just decided to throw on the 2% damage dealt as health restored. But now here's the thing, whenever, because I'm assuming Ubisoft will eventually add the engrave where hunters will get 50% crit damage or 25% crit damage, since it'll normally be cut down in half if you decide to throw that legendary engrave onto something else. So 25% hunter damage or crit damage on with hunter abilities, because they already have that with warrior and assassin, but they don't have that with a hunter. So if whenever that releases or whenever that comes out, you're gonna want to put that on all your hunter chest pieces. Now for the waist, I have hunter damage, all damage, crit chance, and then I threw on gain 25% of an adrenaline segment with hunter abilities, and that engrave is going to come from the Odyssey set, and you're going to be using the Odyssey set if you have it. Now if you don't have that set, if you don't have that engrave, then it's fine. You can always still use the 5% crit chance and 25% crit damage while full health with the Nemean line set. And if you don't have that one, then just throw on the 35% crit damage. The type of epic waste or the 14% crit chance at full health, the type of waste I would think that is the best waste to go for is 60% crit damage at full health, 14% crit chance at full health, 7% crit chance on the engrave if you can do that. Or if you don't have the gain 25% of an adrenaline segment with hunter abilities, then the 7% crit chance. And then for the hunter treads or the epic legs, I think these are perfect the way they are. Hunter damage, crit chance while full health, crit damage while full health, and then throw on the all armor or all arrows pierce shields, making this a lot more useful because it's nice when you can just rapid fire through enemy shields, because if you just rapid fire at an enemy shield without the all arrows pierce shields, they'll stand there to block, but they're not going to get knocked down. If you use it with the pierce shields, they will get knocked down, and they'll also take a lot of damage still regardless. You can either use this or you can use the intoxicated and weakening effect is increased by 10%, which comes from the Viper set. The all arrows pierce shields comes from the, what is it called? I can't think of it. Oh, the Athenian War Hero set. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at all the stats. So 345% hunter damage, 196% damage with headshots, 21% damage with bow on distant targets, 56% crit chance at full health, 400% crit damage at full health, and then up to 18% adrenaline per hit, 54% adrenaline per crit, 30% adrenaline on headshot kill. And for this specific outfit, I'm just going to show you guys what this outfit is, and then I'll move on to the next set. So with this outfit, it is going to be the shroud with the mask. And then for the gloves, it is going to be, where is it? Right over here, the Brawler's Gauntlets. And then for the chest piece, it's going to be the Celestial Torso, making your eyes glow. That's the main reason why I got it. I also do like the white suit. And then for the waist, it is going to be the Pirate Waistband. And then for the boots, it is going to be Blood Waders. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the Legendary Gear set. So with the Legendary Gear set, it's going to be the Odyssey set, and the Odyssey set is going to give you 50% of an adrenaline segment with hunter abilities, basically doubling the amount of adrenaline you have or the amount you're using up. So with the headpiece, it's going to give you hunter damage, 21% damage with bows and on distant targets, and then I threw on the 35% crit damage. For the arms, you get 19% hunter damage, 35% crit damage, and then 7% crit chance. If you can throw on the 14% crit chance on full health, then I'd recommend doing that. The Legendary Torso, you get hunter damage, 14% damage with bow charge shot, and then I threw on the 35% crit damage. And then for the Legendary Waist, the Odysseus belt, you're going to have hunter damage, 19% hunter damage, 7% crit chance, and then you do want to put on the 35% headshot damage if you have it at 35%. I didn't cap mine out yet. I will in a bit, but it is at 25%. It's not that big of a difference, only 10%. But you can either go with the headshot or you can go with the 14% crit chance at full health if you have that engraved. And then for the legs, you have 19% hunter damage, 14% damage with bow charge shot, and then all arrows pierce shields, just like the same reason on the epic gear. Now for the attributes, I have 338% hunter damage, so it's a little bit less than my epic set. 186% headshot damage, which is also a little less. 28% damage on bow charge shot, which is higher. I think the epic set didn't have any bow charge shot damage. And then 21% bow damage with bows on distant targets. 42% crit chance while full health. 280% crit damage while full health. So both of these are pretty not where I would like them to be. Generally, I would like to get around 50% crit chance while full health and over 300%, possibly even reaching 400% crit damage while full health. So this isn't really that high at all. So only 40% higher than the base crit damage. Now for the utility, you're going to have 18% adrenaline per hit, 54% adrenaline per crit, and 30% adrenaline on headshot kill. And now if you want to take a look at the style for this, I have the Persian Elite Band or band for the headpiece. For the bracers, I have the Arena Fighters gauntlets, so it's going to be right next to the Brawlers gauntlets. The torso, I'm using the Persian Elite chest guard. And then the waist, I'm using the Persian Warriors waistband. And then for the boots, I am using the Timeless Greaves. Now that's pretty much it with this build video. I am going to show you some gameplay as well for both sets so you can take a look at them, and it's not going to be too long. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, go and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions or suggestions, or just really anything that you think that can help this build get further into its damage and whatnot, or if you have a build for a rapid fire build as well, let me know down in the comment section so everyone can also, get help with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is all Day1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and enjoy the rest of the clip.